Alright, hello everyone, and welcome to the town of Garrigmock, as it is realized here at Meteor Falls Resort is a glum day here in, is that the right word? Glum? Let me see here. Yeah, sort of. It's a glum kind of weather here at, Sun River, Oregon. The forecast said rain, but surprisingly there hasn't been any. So I figured it's nice and cool. Perfect day to teach you guys how to run this amazing ride. Now let me start by saying, while it is amazing, and while it is a highly sought after ride to run, given how Steel Vengeance has been down at Cedar Point in Sandusky, Ohio, this is going to be probably some of the most tiring ride-up work you'll ever do. We're going to be seeing on opening day lines upwards of 6 hours, and I'm not even kidding about that. We have a plan for that, which I will tell you guys once I get to it. There's a lot of positions. Of course, the one up here in the plaza is only temporary before the opening day crowds kind of go away. This is our lovely sign. With such a large midway and queue, we don't have to worry about cleaning. Luckily, that's what park services is for. Once we're done cycling for the day, we have our little powwow and we go. This is the Fodlin Inn. It's a really good restaurant. It's a table service restaurant with lots of different stuff. It's also one of the places we sell alcohol. And people can take that into the line. They just have to throw it out before they get on the platform. If they're also really drunk, you can feel free to get rid of it. Remember, you're the Roundup. You have a voice in this part.
Into which your items must be placed prior to boarding. These items.
So this is our locker plaza. Given the crowds that are going to be hitting this ride, and you'll see a queue that's going to reflect that in a bit. We have over 6,000 lockers, and they're all free for the duration of the queue, which is updated retroactively via Park Ops when we call in our wait time every hour. They're going to use that and update the lockers so that, let's say you get in line at 5 o'clock with a 6-hour line, and suddenly it's updated to 7 hours. We're going to tack on an extra hour there, just so your locker doesn't expire while you're still in line. Going over here to this side, there is a bathroom down here. You got some extra space. Decided, hey, what better than to kind of just shoehorn one in here. Yep, it's just right back here. If you're at the entrance and someone asks you where it is, or any position really, just say it's in the locker plaza on the far corner. They'll know what you're talking about. And we got our signs here featuring Byleth, which is the main avatar you can use in Fire Emblem Three Houses, after which this ride is loosely themed. These lamps, by the way, they're just a really nice shade of orange and white. So we're going to go back over here. I'm going to show you our queue. I'm going to show you each of the signs for a little bit, do a little bit of a queue tour, show you each of the signs. That we have explaining some things from Fire Emblem Three Houses. And then I'm going to go over the progression in which to open up all the queues, the switchbacks, and how much time each one adds. But we do have a lot to go over. This is going to be a long video. We have a ton of positions. The queue is really long. And there's just a lot of nuance to operating this ride. But I will tell you all of it.
Remember that the professors in the monastery will have final say over whether
Well, let's go in here through the easy queue entrance. We try to pay special attention to the horticulture by the ride. Just because it's a large queue doesn't mean we can let the horticulture go to poo. Especially since we're going to be having these massive lines, and don't think Easy Queue is going to get that much easier. Easy Queue is easily going to be 2+ hours for the first few weeks, or possibly the whole first summer season, plus the holidays. You're about to see in a minute this queue, so oh, I forgot to go over the sign. Whoopsie. So this one explains the Daybreak challenge. Basically, you are a student at the Officers Academy. Which train you sit in will decide which house you represent, either the Golden Deer, the Blue Lions, or the Black Eagles, which I'll explain later a little bit. Basically, you're taking a journey to the front lines, and you are going to help the Knights of Saros. Again, I'll explain what the Church of Saros is later. You're going to help them fend off attacks against the continent of Fodlan. And basically, if you're victorious, you get to become a Knight of Saros. So that's what that is. So this is the continent of Fodlan. It's a map. It's ruled basically by 3 large nations that are working together, with the Garreg-Mach Monastery in the middle, represented by our loading platform. That is home to the church and the officers again. Moving up to this sign, we have the Leicester Alliance, which is to the east. It is ruled by 5 great lords who all work together to rule the nation. So, and the troops are provided by each of the noble houses. So, and then we have the Adrestian Empire to the south, which is ruled by a dynasty over 1,000 years old, with a currently founded by Great Emperor, whose last name I'm not even going to try to pronounce. It was originally a lot stronger, but it's still really strong. And it relies on magic users to defend itself. So moving on to the Holy Kingdom of Fargus. They're to the frigid north. It's protected by knights who are very disciplined. Basically, the stereotype of what you would imagine a knight to be. And it was founded sort of thanks to meditation from the Church of Saros. And as a result, the citizens of the kingdom are devout supporters of the church. The Golden Deer is the house from the Leicester Alliance. This house It has higher percentage to commoners compared to other houses, and features students proficient in bows. And it's named for the creatures that protected the region since the beginning of recorded history. Here we have the Black Eagles, the house from the Adrestian Empire. They favor axes and black magic, and it's named for the twin-headed eagle in their coat of arms of the Adrestian Empire. The soldiers were black arms, therefore Black Eagles. The Blue Lions over here, they hail from the Holy Kingdom of Fargus. The students specialize in the use of spheres, as knights usually would. Well, aside from swords, anyway. The house is named after its founder, who liked the color blue. So, along there is actually a fourth unofficial house, and we were thinking originally of purchasing a fourth train to rotate in while the other three trains are in maintenance. Well, one of the other three trains are in maintenance. We were going to theme it to the Ashen Wolves, and then we decided ultimately against getting this third train. There's no public record of this house, and it's unknown to anyone who's not aware of the existence of the Abyss, which is where its members reside. Rhea actually created this as a pseudo-house in order to give its members a proper education. She wanted to help them return to the surface. And same for the beasts that protect the Blue Sea Star. One of the enemies that we are trying to protect Fodlan against is known as those who slither in the dark, which is a mysterious faction started by an enemy of the church. Thales is the leader. He possesses a deep hatred for the goddess of the land. And basically, there was a war started against this goddess, and it left a civilization devastated, and the survivors of that came together, and then they formed those who slither in the dark, and they seek to destroy all the church holes near and dear. So, moving on to our next sign over here. There's another pair of Switchback Hells over here. Take a drink for a second. It's certainly very humid here at in Sun River. Luckily, we give every one of our ride-ops a half-gallon insulated water bottle, and we encourage you to bring it to work every day, so you don't get dehydrated and pass out in the heat during the summer. So you feel good. There's Volkard von Arundel, who is the head of House Arundel, and currently one of the rulers of the Adrestian Empire. So he once supported the church, but soon became cold and calculating. He does not respect the lives of others, and he's known to sacrifice family members in order to create an heir capable of taking on the gods themselves. Moving on, we have Lenato. So he's the lord of the Gaspard region of the Holy Kingdom of Fargus, so he's one of the ones in charge. He believed in the goddess, but he eventually turned against the church. And the church was aware of his feelings toward them. There was no conflict until a rebellion was eventually led against them. This is Geralt. You may notice his voice from the narrations of the months in Three Houses. He's a legendary knight. He's considered to be one of the strongest in history, so he's famous. He's the father of Byleth, who is the main avatar. And he earned a high rank of Bladebreaker. He left the Knights of Ceres to form his own mercenary company, and that allowed his reputation to spread even further. And so, yeah, he's one of the famous ones. There's Sateth, who is the second in command to Lady Rhea. He's opposed to leaving Violet in charge, but he respects the decision because it came directly from Rhea herself, so doesn't really have a choice there. He likes offering advice to those younger than him, and his sister Flame, he's very protective of her, and will go to any length to keep her safe. Speaking of Flame, she is the younger sister of Sateth. She lives at the monastery, but she is not a student of the Officers' Academy. Yet, she hopes to become one. She acts rashly because of her curiosity, kind of giving Sateth a reason to worry, and she possesses another major crest. And I'm not going to try to pronounce that either. Moving on to the next Switchback Hell. Next bunch of Switchback Hells. Yep, there's more. There's a lot, and we're going to go through all of them. I'm going to show you just how long this queue really is. So, Thales, as was mentioned earlier, he's the leader of those who slither in the dark. He's also cruel and calculating, just like Arundel. He once allied with the Adressian Empire, hoping to lead them to a war that would end society as we knew it, because he hated society. And he and those under him carry a deep hatred for the goddess. And he has no problem sacrificing anyone who works under him, even himself, just as long as his enemies fall as well. There's Yuri, who is the leader of the unofficial Ashen Wolves. He lives under the Officers' Academy in the Abyss. And he was originally a student, but he was expelled because of reasons. He's very protective of his fellow Abyss residents, and he's the sole bearer of the Crest of Aben. He specializes in the use of swords, which is my personal favorite. And now we go to the main people. Here's Claude. That's why he gets a nice, much kind of sort of bigger sign. He's the heir to House Regan, which is the preeminent house of the Leicester Alliance. He's the house leader of the Golden Deer. He's the grandson of the House Regan leader, which is on the maternal side of his family. But he wasn't legitimized as heir until a year before he enrolled in the Officers' Academy. And he uses a bow as his main weapon. So this is Edelgard. She is the house leader of the Black Eagles. She's also a future emperor of the Adressian Empire. She's a natural leader and a model student. She's also very modest. And she specializes in axes. This is Dimitri, the Crown Prince of the Holy Kingdom of Fargus and the house leader of the Blue Lions. He seems like the embodiment of chivalry, but he doesn't like formality all that much. And he has a strange sense of humor. And he specializes in the use of his lance, his main weapon. This is the goddess who rules over Fodlan. It's Sothis. It's a mysterious girl who only Violet can communicate with. She appears to Violet in her dreams in the form of a young girl. And she can control time in ways mortals cannot. She uses this and other power to help Violet and her accompanying fighters. And she has a major crest of flames. This is Rhea. She's the Archbishop of the Church of Ceres since the days of Gerald's knighthood. She's kind of benevolent to those who support the church, but to those who directly oppose it, she hates them. And she assigns missions to 3 houses every month. She is in charge of starting the Daybreak challenge, and she has possession of the minor crest of Ceres, major crest. So going through the metal detectors here, we have a few more signs as we get closer and closer. So the Church of Saros is the neutral power whose main purpose is to assist any nations who are in need and keeping the three nations in check in order to maintain peace. And the apparatus to achieve this is the Knights of Saros. The church was founded by Saint Saros, who was given a gift to help guide the lost. The goddess Sothis keeps watch over the continent of Oman. The Officers' Academy, where everyone is getting ready for the Daybreak Challenge. It's the facility within the Garagmak Monastery, where students are trained in warfare, magic, and special skills. Students who train here are sorted into one of the three houses, depending on her nationality. These houses are each taught by different professors, and they compete with each other throughout the year. This is Byleth. She's the child of Geralt and Cetri, but Cetri died not long after her birth. And as a professor at the monastery, she is charged with teaching one of the three houses of the Officers' Academy. She possesses the Crest of Flames with the Sword of the Creator, which is that really cool sword right there. You can ignore these for now, as you are not the one riding. I'm going to go up the stairs. I'm going to show you the loading platform before we go back down and go over the queue.
Oncoming students, prepare for battle.
So this is our loading platform. As you can see, there are pressure pads on the ground. Those are the enable stations for Overflow.
Must remain up in the air until a professor is pushed back.
Except for the one
remain seated at all times with both hands at her left arm.
who has their
Hands and feet inside the car at all
enable
times.
things.
Bodlin is capital. Pray for
Just right there.
victory and be bold.
There is an extended queue for front row. Mostly roads are going to be assigned. Well, this is like dead, which will not happen for a long time. I will tell you that much right now. So we're going to go back down this side. And then I'm going to go over the order in which to open the switchbacks. And, yeah. There's a lot of them, so this might take a little. Let's go through this other metal detector right here. So, we came from this way, but we're now going to go this way. So, from the top of the stairs all the way back, without any of the switchbacks open, that's 45 minutes. Actually, no, that's a solid hour. That's an hour. For both sides. Now, if you open this up over here, this is going to add an extra 20 minutes. So now we're at an hour 20 total. And then if you open up this additional one, it's back there. Rounded down for the first one, it's another 10 minutes. So now we're at an hour 30, this one's another 10, so hour 40. And these are 10 minutes each also, so an hour 50, and then 2 hours. So that's 2 hours worth of queue right there. You can probably see where this is going. And you open them up in the order I just showed you. So this thing simply being open adds another 10 minutes. So 2 hours and 10 minutes with this being open. Which actually happens before that. And these are 10 minutes each. And there's, so 2 hours 20, 2 hours 30, 2 hours 40, 2 hours 50. And then we go in here. These are longer. These are 15 minutes each. 3 hours 5, 3 hours 20, 3 hours 35, 'Going back through here. Got the mid-course brake run limit overhead, and if you notice a train going through that, that's not going to slow down at all. I specifically designed it so that there's no trims at all. None. Zippo, zilch, you just fly right on through. So opening this is another 5 minutes. So 3 hours 40, these are 10 minutes each, 3 hours 50, 3 hours 4 hours, 4 hours 10. And this is the same size, except there's only 2 of them. Still tack on 5 minutes for this one. So 4 hours 20, 4.5 hours if these are open. And yes, it will fill up. It'll fill up real quick the day this thing opens. And yes, we are going to close the line early if it gets too long. So these are all 20 minutes each. And then each of the little inlets adds another 5 minutes. So 4 hours 5, or no, 4 hours 50. Yeah, 4 hours 35, 4 hours 55, and then 5 hours 15. Another 5 minutes, so 5 hours 20, 5 hours 40. 6 hours right here. And yes, these are kind of overestimates. We like people to be pleasantly surprised on the wait's not as long as they thought it was. Plus, it gives people more time at the lockers. For their locker to not expect. So this right here is another 5 minutes. Hold on, I kind of lost track of it. This is 6:25. This is 6:45. So 6 hours, 45 minutes. is a full queue. About. And yes, it will still fill up. So next, we're going to go back to the loading platform, and then we're going to cross over. Actually, no. I'll take you guys to the exit, because you guys need to see the exit. So you know what's over there. And you don't exactly really
remember that
the line rules will mostly take care of opening and closing queues.
Whether or not you're able to board your chariot safely. For those of you needing
but if we have to cut a line rover too, you don't have to worry about it. The line usually expresses itself toward the end of the night. So going over here, arguably the most exciting moment on the ride, which is this stall going right over this exit path. Plus you got this directly overhead. The reason, this is part of the reason we have the loose article policy that we have. We have 16 positions. An exit host, which is what we're going to start off with. We have 4 restraint checking positions, which can be cut down to 2 if necessary. Controls, 2 grouper, which can be cut down to 1. 4 metal detector, 2 entrance, 2 line rover. And it's the line rover that's going to start the rotation. If we cut the line rover, then it's going to be the entrance. It's going to be one of the entrances started, and then if we have to go down to one entrance, then we're going to end up. What we're going to end up doing is probably platform rotations at this point. But we have a ton of ride ops working the rides, so I'm going to try not to let that happen too much. So, in case you're wondering, that's our lift hill. That's looming directly overhead, and that's awesome. We also got the fire effect right there. Yeah, it's a long walk to the exit. This is the way that ADA is going to go. If they are ambulatory, we have them go up the stairs. If not, there is an elevator right nearby, which I will show you in a second. It's in that kind of lower minaret tower. Right over here is our photo booth. Functions the same as any other photo booth. You stop by, you look at your photo, buy a package, or you can scan your digital download. The camera positions, there's 2. There's one that's right underneath the roll coming out of the station. And then there's another one right after the stall. This is our elevator right here. There is an A phone right over here too. You can use it to call up to the top of the elevator, or to call any of the other positions. And then, if need be, Only 3 people allowed in the elevator, including the person in a wheelchair. That lift hill is 240 feet, by the way. The drop at 238 feet and 92 degrees. This thing's got 6 inversions, including that roll right out of the station. How awesome is that? First time RMC has tried that. Oh look, there's a train. There's the fire. Whee! There they go. So our first position we're coming to is exit.
Your items will need to go in.
Which will start right out here. But first, there's some more general information.
Welcome back. When the train stops, please lift up on your laptop.
Every position except controls.
Don't forget your belongings in the zipper pouch. Oncoming students.
Basically, any position except for controls, metal detectors, line rove, and exit. And restraint checking positions are responsible for checking height. That being said, the restraint checking positions can send someone over to the exit host and they can measure someone if needed.
Remain seated at all times with both hands on your laptop. Hands and feet inside
The loose article policy is as follows. Everything you have with you has to ride in the train, but here, we'll go in there for a second. See the black zippered pouch under the seat? You have to take everything out of your pockets and put it in there. Nothing can be in your pockets during the ride. And don't forget, when you're checking restraints, to have people zip up the pouch.
You have a red stamp.
Otherwise, they're going to lose their stuff. They're not going to be happy.
Please empty your pockets at this time.
And someone else could potentially get hit with that stuff, and they're not going to be happy.
To a returning battalion, welcome back.
So, for extremities, you need an arm and 2 legs in order to be allowed to ride.
Don't forget your belongings in the zipper.
Because of the
Oncoming students
close-fitting restraint system and the extreme upward forces doled out by the ride.
Your items in the zipper pouch. Take your seat and fasten your belt. Do not hold
For
on
back
to the
braces, they can be let on only if they do not interfere with the ride. Those will be on a case-by-case basis, although
during your
if you have back problems, you really shouldn't be riding rides to begin with. Boots are not allowed.
At all times.
If they've got a boot, they have to take it off, otherwise they can't ride.
And be bold.
That is the only time we will let someone with a sock only
To our next battalion,
ride the ride.
if you have
Otherwise,
a
shoes have to
stamp
be
on your
worn.
left hand, please
Of any
empty your
kind.
pockets
Shoes of any
at this
kind.
time. Your items will need to go in the zipper
There is a
pouch.
hose right here,
To a returning
which we
battalion,
use to clean up
welcome back.
guest illnesses
When the train
and
stops,
to
lift up on your laptop.
fill up our water in the morning and during the day if we run out. And we're going to run out.
Don't forget your belongings in the zipper pouch.
There's a lot of team members.
Oncoming students, prepare for battle.
So much to the point where
Gates and into
triple
the
or
car in
quadruple braking at one
front. Place your
point.
items in the zipper pouch. Take your seat.
Remember to run the hose for a minute or 2 before you start filling up the water, so it doesn't taste like a football.
In the air until a professor is pushing out. During your
You see
battle,
each of our beautiful
remain seated
trains.
at all times
This is
with
the
both hands
one
on your laptop.
for
Keep
the
hands
Black
and feet
Eagles.
inside the car at all times. Vodelin is counted on you. Pray for victory.
We have our height stand and a height stick right here. Height stick is yellow, so it's 52 inches. I know RMCs are usually 48, but we usually do 52 for the one swing axle trains because they're usually far more aggressive and we like to be safe.
To our next battalion, you have a red stamp on your left
So
hand.
this is
Please
exit
empty your
host.
pockets at this time. Your items will need to go in a zipper.
You are in charge of measuring
to a
people if
returning battalion.
ride ops think they
Welcome
need to be
back.
measured. Just take them
When the
over here,
train stops, please lift up on your lap bar.
measure them real quick, send them back or send them out.
Exit to the left.
If they're not tall enough,
Don't
give them
forget
one.
your belongings in the zipper pouch.
You're also
Students, prepare for battle. Step
in charge of
into the
VIP
car.
tours and
Place your items
alternate
in the zipper
access.
pouch. Take your seat and fasten your belt. Do not hold on to your lap
Alternate
bar.
access is either going to
Lap
come
bar must
from up
remain
the
up in the
stairs
air until a professor
or
pushes it down.
through the elevator.
During your battle, Remain seated at all times with both hands at your lap.
As much as you're paying attention to the ride here, you should also be looking around
Fodlin is counting on you
to make sure there's no alternate access passes ready to scan. So there's two types of alternate access passes you should know about. There's the normal for physical disabilities and the plan your day pass for mental disabilities. So the first one is where they go up to the entrance host. The entrance host will give them a time. If they want the front row, they add an extra 15 minutes to that time. It is the current time plus the queue time. Yes, even if it's after park closing, you can give them the time.
Step through the gates and into the car in front of you. Place your items in the
You might want to take 15 minutes off of it though, not make it too far ahead of time, otherwise they're gonna
must remain up in the air until a professor
come back when everyone's like through, and you're gonna have to load.
During your battle,
So you might want to abbreviate their time.
at all times.
If they have easy queue, it's the current time plus the easy queue time. Now,
Fodlin is counting on you.
the plan your day pass
And be bold.
goes as follows. They come straight up to the exit. They have a time interval. It can be as little as 5 minutes, or it can be as high as 180
You have a red
minutes.
stamp on your left hand. Please empty your pockets this time. Your items will need to go in the zipper pouch beneath your seat.
So what you do when they come up, you take their pass,
When the train stops, please lift up on your left.
you write down
Fasten your belt.
the name of the ride,
Don't forget your belongings.
and then
in the zipper pouch.
your initials,
Students,
as you would with the other pass. Only this time,
into the car in front of you.
you put down the current time. And then the only thing you have to look for is to see if the interval has elapsed since their previous ride time. Now, there's a couple caveats as it relates to the Plan Your Day Pass. Number one, since it's new for this year and since it's going to be incredibly popular, Daybreak cannot be their first ride of the day. Number two, Daybreak can only be ridden once using the standard wait time. If they want to ride again, the actual wait time must have elapsed
Please empty your pockets at this time.
before they can ride it again. So let's say they go to ride it twice in a day, right?
Welcome back.
Let's say the park opens at 8 a.m.
Lift up on your lap bar.
They gonna road a few things, they come by at 9:05. The park's opening at 8 a.m. It's probably a crowded Saturday, so let's say they have a 120-minute interval.
Oncoming students, prepare for battle. Step through the gates and into the car.
You have to tell them to come back later.
Place your items in
If
the
let's say their
zipper
first ride was on Lakeside Loop,
pouch. Do not
and
hold down
it
on your
was, I know, they're probably not going to need it for that, because Lakeside Loop never has a line anymore. And since it's right down the way for, in the Azure Lake section of the park, which is right nearby, it's definitely not going to have a line. Either that or it might be the other one. Because people are going to see the line for Daybreak and go, oh hey, Lakeside Looper has no line, let's go ride that. Anyway, you get my point. So, let's say they ride Lakeside Looper at 8:30. They come by at 9:05. You have to tell them to come back at 10:30. Come back at 10:30. Do the stuff I told you to do, and then they ride. Now, let's say they come back again at 12:30. But the line is 5 hours. They have to come back at, and let's say it's not getting long. They have to come back at least 3:30 since their last ride. Now let's say they go to ride Lakeside Looper again at 12:30.
During your battle,
they can do that, and then they come back here.
at all times.
They actually have to come back at 5:30 at that point. It has to be since your last ride on anything, not just Daybreak.
And be bold.
So that's how that works. Parent swaps. So they can ask the entrance for a parent swap. It's a little piece of paper listing all the rides. You put your initials on it, and then you check mark the ride that they gave to you. So the whole group, minus the kids that need watching, since, you know, small kids, kids under 52, cannot be let into the line. Except for the kids and 2 people. Their party waits in the line holding on to the parent swap. They get up here, they ride, they give the parent swap to you, the exit host. And then it's got their name on it. And then the people waiting in the exit come and request from you. They say, what's the last name? They tell you the last name. You get back to them, you let them on, and then they ride, and then they go on the road. And they can use that anyways.
Inside the car at all times.
Medical bags. The exception to our loose art, one part of a loose art policy is medical bags. These can include any size bag if they're marked medically. They have the tag on them. Then they are placed on the side of the platform by you. This includes fanny packs and purses because those have to be taken off. But you can keep them by you.
Your items will need to go in the zipper pouch.
Only for medically tagged bags.
To a returning battalion.
Alright, so besides dealing with expats and parent swapping, you're basically making sure nobody's leaving anything on the side of the platform unless it's a medical bag. You're answering questions about the ride, and that's basically what it is. Feel free to go in here to the booth if you need anything. Don't relax in there too much. Doesn't look great. And besides, you are also one of the ones clearing the train. Even though you're not checking anything, you're still doing a visual scan. And you're going to put out your clear. So we're going to go back down the stairs up to the entrance. There is another temporary position, and we can have any number of people on this despite how long an overflow queue that we need to make is. If the line goes outside its original 6 hours and 45 minutes, the overflow queue will be, let's say you're facing the sign, right? At the front where we started. It's going to be on the right for easy queue and actually the left for the regular queue, even though it kind of flip-flopped. I'm going to take another drink here. Like I said, it's humid today here in Sun River. Gotta appreciate the horticulture here. Part of the new Sentinel Gold Standard, and we're working on redecorating all of our other rides in accordance with the new Gold Standard. So going back through here. And I know this is quite a long way to wheel a wheelchair, but you gotta admit it's beautiful too. Going back through to our locker plaza. I'm going to tell you how this is going to work too. Hopefully we won't have to use it, but this is just in case we do, so that we have that plan kind of there. Just gonna continue walking through here. Here is a long way back. Long way. Back to the Fodlin Inn. So that direction is the rest of the park. We're going to have the other Fire Emblem rides with a few wooden coasters to the left, and then straight to the right would be the North Gate. And if you're trying to rope drop this thing and you don't park at the North Gate, you're kind of screwed, because you're going to have to walk along this entire rest of the park. This entire massive park that has a capacity of 240,000. And, yeah. And then straight ahead is Azure Lake and Lakeside Looper. So, this side will be easy queue. This side will be the regular queue. Now, there is crowd control over here. 2 crowd control positions and additional line roves for the opening day crowds while we have to use an overflow queue. So basically you're going to stop everyone here and make sure everyone's staying in their respective side while leaving the middle open for people who need to go up the exit and for people who just want to go to the restaurant. And I don't blame those people either. Those sandwiches are so good. And the bread is just divine, and the fries are like the fresh cut fries at Cedar Point. So nice. So you're basically just going to be holding people here. We're going to be rotating every 30 minutes, so it's not like you're going to be doing this for a super long time. We'll factor this into the rotation. You come to these positions between exit hosts and rounds. Every so often, the line roves will radio you. If we are using an overflow queue, we are using walkie-talkies. Once the line gets back to the first set of switchbacks, once you enter the queue, we'll let about 60 to 70 people in. We'll let them go to the lockers and put their stuff away, and then go into the entrance. And then Easy Queue is on that side. If we need to regulate Easy Queue like that, we can. Same with Easy Queue. Will be one person in charge of each line at least. I am not afraid to pull from other rides to use to make sure those positions are filled, to make sure opening day is as orderly as possible. Moving right along. Yeah, you get amazing views of this coaster no matter where you are. And we have shade! So, here's our sign reminding people of the metal detectors, which I'll explain later. This is the ride weight sign with a little chip you can put on these little Velcros right here.
To make your journey as safe as possible, you must be prepared. Anything that cannot fit
So
in your
these are our
pockets
entrance positions.
will
You
not
each
be
have an
able to
A
fit in
phone.
the zipper pouch under your seat,
And then
into
you'll
which
each
your
also
items
have
must
a
be placed
Shure
prior to boarding.
thumb-activated
These items,
microphone
including backpacks, purses, fanny
in
packs,
the
plushes, and non-disposable
underneath
drink
it too.
bottles
Where those
must
is all
be
the
placed in a
So you're
locker
gonna sit here
or left with a
with your
non-rider,
height stick.
as they will not be allowed in locker.
Not just looking pretty,
To
not
ride the
falling asleep.
chariots to the front lines,
I'm not concerned
you
with
must be at
posture.
least
Lean if you want
52
to. I don't
inches
care.
tall.
As long as you're doing your
Daybreak
job.
features extreme
And your
uplift
job
forces,
is,
and
as the
such,
first
features
line
a close
of
fitting
defense against
hydraulic
these
restraint
particles.
system.
Unless
Those of you with
there's
larger
a
body dimensions, either by height or by weight,
unless there's
are
a
encouraged to try the
crowd
test seat
control
in
over it,
front
then
of the
they're going to be the
entrance.
first line of defense.
Remember that the professors in the monastery
So you have
will have
backpacks,
final
purses,
say
fanny packs,
over
anything
whether
that
or
can't
not
fit in your
you're
pockets
able to board
will
your
not be able to
chariot
fit in the
safely.
zipper pouch, therefore they
For
must
those
go
of
in
you
one
needing
of several
non-standard
pockets.
methods of boarding your
No,
chariot,
police, since we're not
please
charging
head
for
to
the
the
lockers,
ride's
people
exit.
shouldn't complain as much.
For those who are non-ambulatory, there is an elevator
You'll be
found
like,
just to the left
extra
of the
steps.
photo
Well,
booth.
hello, welcome to the
Once you
longest
reach
queue
the exit, a professor
in the
will
park,
assist you shortly
by far.
to get you
Have
boarded
fun
as
walking
soon
back.
as possible.
Anyway, I
Please note that
digress. So
line
you can sit
jumping
here,
is not
don't
permitted
play with the
here in
height stick,
Garrick
don't bounce it, that's how you
If you
shorten
leave the
them.
line for any reason,
They made a
you may
PVC
only
pipe.
re-enter at the end of the line.
You're going to be
Those
the
of
first
you
line of
found to
defense
have
for
been
these
line
particles,
jumping may be
first
left
line of
behind
defense for
with your
height
chariot
checking,
departs,
you've got
and
your
may be
height stand over
prohibited
there,
from boarding any other chariots in the future.
and you've got
We hope your journey to the
your
front
height sticks
lines
to
is safe
kind of
and
get
fruitful.
a
We hope the
cursory
house you are
glance
representing is
at
successful
someone.
in battle, so
Remember,
that you may become
it's
a knight of
52,
service.
it's not
Best of
48.
luck
People
on
are
your
going to say,
journey
but
and in
I
battle.
rode such and such at Chicago Thrill Yards, or Coasters in Paradise, Riviera Maya, and that was only 48 inches. Different trains, slightly different handling, and this ride's a lot more aggressive than those are. Like, a lot more. So, we raised it to 52 as a result. If they say it's got medical supplies, check for a tag. If they don't have a tag,
To those of you
send
heading
them
to the
to
front lines,
one
welcome
of
to
the
Garrick
guest services location. There's
home
one
of the
by
Church
each of the four
Saros and
gates.
the Officers Academy.
And since the north
To make
gate
your journey as safe
is
as possible, you must
right outside
understand
there,
anything
shouldn't be
that
too long
cannot
of a
fit
walk.
in your pockets will not be able to fit in the zipper pouch
Um,
under your seat, into which your items must be placed prior to boarding.
Of course, you got important numbers listed
backpacks,
there.
purses, fanny packs, plushes,
You've also
and
got a park.
non-disposable drink bottles must be placed
Each of
in a
these
locker
are
or
park
left
phones.
with a non-rider, as they will
So you can
not be
call it
allowed
two
in line.
controls with them.
To ride the chariots to the front lines,
They're not
you
A
must
phones.
be
I don't know
at
why I
least
call them A
52
phones. They're
inches
park
tall.
phones.
Daybreak features extreme uplift forces, and as such,
That's the
features a
Fodland Inn right there.
close-fitting
People are wondering,
hydraulic
where's the
restraint
restaurant? It's
system.
like right across from it.
Those of you
Where's
with
the
larger
restroom?
body dimensions,
In
either
the
by
back
height
corner
or by
of
weight,
the
are encouraged
locker
to try
plaza.
the test seat in front of the entrance.
Now, if
Remember
you're on
that
this
the
side, you're in charge
professors
of the
in
regular
monastery
queue.
will
You're
have
also in
final
charge
say
of the
over
wait
whether or
times,
not you're able to board your chariot safely. For those of you needing
which
non-standard
controls
methods
will
of boarding
call
your
down
chariot,
to you
please head to the ride's exit.
after they get it
For those
from
who are
the
non-ambulatory,
Line
there is an
Rover
elevator found just to
or
the
the
left
metal
of the
detector.
photo booth. Once you reach the exit,
and then they're going
Professor
to call
will
that.
assist you
Controls
shortly
is actually
to
the
get
one who's
you
going to call
boarded
in the
as
park
soon
ups
as possible.
every hour, along with the DOR, which I will
Please
go
note
over.
that line jumping is not permitted here in Garrick Mine.
If you are on this
leave the line for
side,
any
you are in
reason,
charge of the easy
you
queue
may
line, which
only
means you are in
re-enter
charge
at the
of
end of the
checking
line.
easy queues.
Those of you found to have
Starting
been
this
line jumping
upcoming
may be
winter,
left behind
we are
with your
getting
chariot
rid
departs,
of the queue
and may
bots.
be prohibited from boarding any other
As
chariot.
much as they
in the
shorten the
future.
easy queue lines,
We
they are
hope your
kind of
journey to the
reliable.
front lines is safe and fruitful. We hope the
Instead,
house you are
it's going to
representing
be
is
a lot more
successful
like
in
Cedar
battle,
Fair's
so that
Fastlane.
you may become a knight of Saros. Best of
And
luck
so-
on your journey and in battle.
It's going to be a wristband with a logo on it and a color. You are in charge of making sure it's the right logo, the right color, and that there are no tears or gluing or any funny business going on with the wristband. They must be wearing the wristband in order to be admitted through the EasyQ line. EasyQ is not restricted at all. If we need to close the line early, we close the EasyQ line usually an hour before
to the front
at
lines,
most.
welcome to Garrick Mine, home of the Church of
So have
Saros
them
and the Officers
hold up
Academy.
their hand
to
and a
make
fist.
your journey as safe as possible.
Show them the front of the show the front of the wristband, show the back, and go through.
Anything that cannot
We do
fit in
audit
your
these things.
pockets
We send
will
people
not
through
be
with
able
fake
to fit in the
wristbands.
zipper pouch under your seat,
And if you're
into
not
which
caught,
items
it's
must
a
be
demerit.
placed prior to boarding. These items,
Although there are
including
quite a
backpacks,
bit of demerits to
purses,
go before
fanny packs,
anything happens.
clutches,
There's at least
and
7 or 8.
non-disposable drink bottles
I think even 9.
must be placed in a locker or left with a
And the first time you
non-rider,
fail
as they will
an
not be allowed
EZQ audit,
to
it's not even a demerit, it's
to
a
ride the chariots to
documentation.
the front lines, you must be at least 52 inches tall. Daybreak features
Yeah, so you don't even have to sign anything. But
And as
still, be on the
such,
lookout for that.
features a close-fitting
There are people who have been on
restraint
final warning,
Those of
and
you
then
with
that
larger body
failed
dimensions, either
EZQ
by height or by weight, are encouraged to try the test
demerit
in front of the
was the
entrance.
last straw for
Remember
them.
that the professors
That
in
is
the
not a good way to go
monastery will
out.
have final say
I will say that.
over whether or not you're able to board your chariot safely.
But I
For
digress.
those of you
You're in
needing
charge of checking that
non-standard
here,
methods of boarding your
and you're not the only one who's
please
going to be
head
checking
to
it.
the ride's exit.
But
for those who are non-ambulatory,
any station
there
that
is an
fails the
elevator
audit, regardless
found just
if
to
the other
left of
one
the photo booth.
is successful,
Once you reach the exit, a professor will assist
will
you
receive the
shortly
demerit. So,
to get you boarded as soon as possible.
onward we shall
Please note that
go
line jumping is not permitted here
to
in
the
If you leave the line for
metal
any reason,
detectors.
you may
But
remove
on our way
it.
over, I'm going to tell you the responsibilities of the line rows. The line rows make sure there are no line jumping. They're going to be outfitted with walkie-talkies. They make sure there's no line jumping. They are second line of defense. They don't check heights, but they are our second line of defense for loose article issues. There's going to be 4 of them. Did I say 2 earlier? I meant there was 4. One in the first half of this, one in the second half of this, and one in this switchback set. Another in the compartment after, and the compartment after that, and then the back compartment too. They are in charge of being the second line of defense for articles, and line jumping, because I'm sure with lines, as long as this thing's going to get, line jumping is going to be rampant. Make sure you have your water bottles with you. Don't leave them behind. Though, if you left it at, say, entrance, you can only go get it. You see at entrance for an hour, with one person rotating every 30 minutes. Although, if you want to stay back there, if you want to stay at entrance, you can, as long as no one else has a problem with it. You rotate to line row. Each line row rotates up a spot. And don't be afraid to radio back about someone you're sending out, or don't forget to radio up to entrance if you need someone to call security. You will mostly be communicating with entrance, and then entrance can relay your message to controls via the A phone. Or they can call security themselves at a park phone. Don't forget, when you're calling security, you need to let your area supervisor know. There are 3 area supervisors per side. There's 4 sides, north, east, south, and west. But there are 3 area supervisors on duty at any given time. Don't forget to let park ops know, and they can relay the message to all of them. So whoever's nearest can come and help. So that's about it for metal detectors. Or no, not metal detectors, line row. Up next is the metal detector host. You spend about an hour at each one, because there's 2 people at each one usually, although we can cut a person from each if need be. This is the EZQ one, that's the regular line. Literally no difference between them. You do not have to check easy queues when you are over here. Your main purpose is to send people to the metal detector. If it goes off, you give them a red stamp. The red stamp means nothing more than the fact that they have loose articles, and you come out of their pockets and go into the zipper bag. That's all it means. You'll just explain to them when they ask, why are you giving me a red stamp? Because you brought stuff with you. Because you have stuff to put in the bag. That's literally it. That's the only purpose of being over. You also have A-phones, an A-phone at each location. Develops controls or entrance if you have any problems. They're the ones with plus phones. The Line Rover will probably be pacing in between each of the outside the railings, in between here. This will be a third Line Rover position out here, and then a fourth one up there. But metal detectors stay here under their little canopy. And yeah, that's about it. So moving right along, we're going to go through here. We're going to go back upstairs where I will explain crowd control. Or no, not crowd control. That's what we used to call it. We're going to call it grouper, because we assign crowd control to another position outside. There's two groupers usually. One for easy queue, one for fast lane. One for easy queue, one for... Why did I say fast lane? Standby. They are in charge of assigning rows. They're the last line. They are the last true line of defense for height checks and circles and easy queues.
Step through the gates and into the car in front of you.
The one over here is the one that will fail the ECQ audit, not that one over there.
Do not pull down.
Although if there's just one, we're encouraged to just sit in the middle right over here.
During your battle,
and then
remain seated at all times.
Be in charge of both sides. The reason we have two is because if people have some problem, one of them is going to go over and take care of it, and the other one will go here. Now, if that's the case, whoever's in the middle here is going to be in charge of so you're going to be sending people to different rows. If they request the front, you can go ahead and send them. We have an extended queue here for the reason. If they want the back, you can send a few groups over because there's some room. The rest of the rows, got it. Just put them on.
If you have a red stamp on your left hand,
once after the park closes each night, we don't take any row requests. If we still have a line at that point from either side. So at that point you can fill the train front to back to front. But don't honor any row requests because that's going to slow things down.
Oncoming students, prepare for battle. Step through the gates and into the car in front of you. Place your items in the zipper pouch. Take your seat.
That's about it. Item tickets. This would be a good time for me to explain item tickets earlier. So basically, if you catch someone with a loose article when they're here, you give them an item ticket, send them back out, and come back in through the easy queue. Item tickets are also given by crowd control to people coming from the overflow queue block. Basically, it's the their pass to enter through the main queue or the easy queue. Now, the item passes to get you through the easy queue are one color, and the item passes to get you into the regular line are another color. Do not confuse the two things.
Please empty your pockets at this time.
Gum up the works.
Your items will need to go in the
so yeah, stand here, look pretty, smile, read guess,
welcome back. When the train
or
stops,
sit, whichever one. Don't forget to use the height stick for cursory glance and the height stand to measure people over here. Now we're going to go through here. Who's ready to start checking some restraints? I know we all are. Now, this coaster has a bit of an unusual format. See, You'll be spending an hour on each side of the station, as with any other ride, because there's 2 positions there for you to spend an hour. However, you will actually start and end on opposite ends of the platform each time you check the train. Now, before I get into how to check the train, I need to talk about, oh geez, large guests. Here's the thing. Sentinel Parks is a chain that prides itself in allowing as many people to ride as possible. Therefore, we fully expect all of our ride-ops to help best they can with getting LGs into the green. Up there, wait, hold on, come over here so you can see it. Up there is a screen showing each of the seats. If it's blue, that means it's this lap bar that needs to go down. If it's green, that means it's good to go. Sometimes you'll push it down, and it'll inch ever so slightly into blue territory. Just go. Now let's say you have someone real large, right? Now the belt is no point of worry. It's a retractable belt, although I will say this, you do have to fasten it for empty seats anyway. It is a retractable belt, and it's really long. That's not the point of contention. The lap bar is. The fit is about the same as Steel Vengeance, give or take. So you have a really large guess. You can give 3 pushes, or a total of 4 pushes. First, give them a moderate string, an easy to moderate string push, a nice soft push. It goes down a little more. Still no? Give them a harder push. No? 3rd push? Go as hard as you can. And then 4th and last push, you double team it. If you can't get it with 1 double team push, then that's a no. You say, unfortunately, the restraint cannot safely accommodate you. We do need you to get to the left this time. Blame the restraint. Don't blame them.
The lap bar must remain up in the air until a professor is pushed down for you. Remain seated at all times with both hands in your lap bar. Keep hands and feet in.
Now, there's a color I didn't tell you about, and that's gray. Well, there's 2. There's red and there's gray. Red is simply when the train comes back and the lap bar needs to be cycled. It means it needs to be pulled all the way up every single time, whether the seat has someone in it or not. This is a safety feature introduced to keep people from getting stuck in the seat. If the seat is gray, that means there is something wrong with it. It is tied off, and it has been maintenance bypassed. These seats do not have to be cycled. Every position except for enable has a pressure pad. You must be standing on this in order to dispatch the train. Now, these time out after 5 seconds, so do not step onto these until you're ready to dispatch and you're ready to put your clear out. If they time out, they will not time out when all 3 people are standing. They will time out if there's only 2.
Keep hands and feet inside the car at all times.
Or 1 standing. At which point, everyone will have to step off of their pad. They will have to do a reset, step back on, redo clear sequence, and then all clear. Do not step off of it during the dispatch either, because it'll have the same effect. Stay on the pad until the lap bar is unlocked.
Welcome back.
Now, we're gonna go over there, and I'm gonna go over the
exit to the left. Don't forget your belongings in the zipper pouch.
One thing I forgot about is that the gates are push-pulled by the exit host. All 3 of them. We're going to go over here, so I can go over the enable panel real quick, and then we're going to start checking restraints. Here you have an A phone over here, you got one over there too. Pretty much every position has an A phone.
both hands in your lap
except
bar.
for metal
Keep
detectors
hands and feet inside
and
the car at all
line
times.
roads who have walkie-talkies.
Vodalin is counting on you.
So this is our beautiful enable panel.
Be bold.
And since I am a gracious being, I have put a beautiful mushroom as our dispatch button. And I made the entrance gates button blue. Now, you hold this down to close the gates, you press it to close the gates, and if the gates are in manual, in order to open them again. Please, for the love of God, do not press that button after we're checked instead of the dispatch button. Everyone is going to hate you, because at that point the gates will open and then we will need to check the train again. We won't even get to push the mushroom, because you're going to have to go back across the platform.
Don't forget your belongings in the zipper pouch.
Let's go down on each side, and I will explain that later. This is your E-stop button. This cuts power to the ride. Press it only in emergencies. It is bright red, and it is huge. Do not trip around this enable panel, because you might accidentally press it. And then everyone's going to hate you with that time also. Do not do that.
Keep hands and feet inside the car at all times.
They'll let you know if gates are in manual, by the way.
Vodalin is counting on you. Pray for victory.
Now for how we check the restraint. You're going to check basically the whole train, but in kind of a half and half kind of way. The 6 seats closest to you, you're going to push down the lap bar. Meanwhile, the person across from you, on the other end of the platform, in this case down there, is going to be doing the same thing. You're going to high five. Before you push it down, you're going to ask if everything out of everyone's pockets. You're going to check to see if the seatbelt is fastened. Don't go fast, not too fast. After you check 6, you're going to high five in the middle. You're going to take a quick glance up at the screen to see if your seat that needs to be pushed down more. And then you are going to pull up on each of the 6 lap bars. Each of the other 6 lap bars. If you need to cycle any seats, you will cycle one of the 6 close to you, and then you will come back here. You only cross down to the other side if you are checking. When the next train parks, allow me to demonstrate.
And be bold.
Here goes the train.
To our next battalion, if you have a red stamp on your left hand, please empty your pockets at this time. Your items will be...
And be sure to remind people that their lap bars need to be up.
To a returning
and then
welcome back.
Also shout after the gates are closed. You shout hands up, knees together, because you're going to be pushing the lap bars down.
Don't forget your belongings in the zipper.
Alright, make sure you're out of the way. Everyone's coming in.
Oncoming students, prepare for battle.
Gates are closed.
Go
Go ahead and close the gate. Go ahead over here. Everything out of your pockets. No. Yep. Push. Everything out of your pockets. 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 High five. Look at the screen. Pull. 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 Now go over here. You're going to scan over here. Scan back across the platform. And then you're going to put out your clear first if you're on this side. And then you're going to look for the clears. Everyone else clear. Once you got everyone else clear, switch it to a high clear. At which point they'll say all clear. And then go ahead. When you're over there, you're going to press the button and put out your low clear when you're ready. That button does not time out, by the way. You can press it whenever. Please don't break it. You're going to make the ride go down, and it sucks. So don't break the mushroom.
Exit to the left. Don't forget your belongings in the zipper pouch. Oncoming students, prepare for
Everyone
battle.
through the gates.
Step through the gates and into
Putting
the
their
car
stuff
in front
away.
of you.
Fasten your
Place
seatbelt.
your items in the zipper
Alright,
pouch.
gates are closed.
Take your seat. and
Hi,
fasten your
everything
belt.
out of your pockets.
Do not pull down on your
Cool.
laptop.
Everything out of your pockets.
The
Alright,
laptop
push
must
down.
remain up in the
Everything
air
out of your
until
pockets.
professors push it down
Awesome.
for you.
Everything out of your pockets.
During your battle,
Cool.
remain
Everything out of your
seated at all
pockets.
times with both hands on
Awesome.
your lap.
Everything out of your pockets.
Hands and feet inside the car
Awesome.
at all times.
High five in the middle.
Total
Lands
is
over the
counted.
screen.
Pray
Pull up.
for victory and
Pull
be
up.
bold.
Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Go in here. Go ahead, press the button, put out your low clear. And away they go.
To
Cool.
our next battalion,
Let's do a couple more reps on each side.
Please
Be sure you're holding down the button until
your items will need to go
train
in a
parts.
zipper pouch beneath your seat. To a returning battalion, welcome back. When
you let go of the
train
button.
stops, please lift up on
same
your
thing as if
laptop,
you step off a pad. You're gonna have to
your
reset.
belt, and exit to the left.
Also, you put out your clear.
And your
Once,
belongings in a zipper pouch.
Load one puts out their low clear.
Students,
And then once they see you, they'll put up their high clear.
step through the gates and into the car in front of you.
Alright, go ahead and close the gates. Hands up, knees together.
Take your seat and
Everything out of your pockets.
Do not
Everything
pull
out of
down
your
on
pockets.
laptop. The
Everything out of your
laptop must
pockets.
remain up in the air until
Everything out of your
the
pockets.
down for you.
Everything out of your
During
pockets.
your battle,
Everything out of your
remain seated at all
pockets. High five.
times with both hands in
Look
your
at the
lap.
screen. Pull up.
Hands and feet
Pull up.
inside the car
Pull
at
up.
all times.
Pull up. Pull up.
Voting is
And
counted.
pull up.
Pray for
Go ahead in
victory
here.
and be bold.
Throw out your low clear. Once you get low clear from that side and everywhere else, go ahead and step on your pad. Put up your high clear. And out they go.
To our next battalion, if you have a red stamp on your left hand, please empty your pockets at this time. Your items will need to go in
Alright, another rep.
zipper pouch beneath your seat. To a returning battalion, welcome back. When the train stops, please lift up on your laptop, unfasten your belt, and exit to the left. Don't forget your
Alright, go ahead out
belongings
here.
in the zipper
Gates are
pouch.
opening. And the platform gates are in auto, so they're going to open right. They're going to shoot open right
Step
away.
through the gates and into the
Alright,
car
gates
in
are
front of you.
closing.
Place your
Alrighty,
items in the
hands
zipper
up, knees
pouch.
together. Everyone out of your
Take your
pockets.
seat and fasten your belt.
Everything out of your pockets.
Do not pull down on your
Everything out of your
laptop.
pockets.
The lap bar must
Everything out of
remain
your
up in the air
pockets.
until
Cool.
a professor
Everything out of your
pushes down
pockets.
for you.
Awesome. Everything out of your
During your
pockets.
battle,
High five. Look at the screen.
remain seated at all
Pull up.
times with both
Pull up.
hands in your lap.
Pull up. Pull up.
Hands and feet
Pull up.
inside the car at
Pull
all
up.
times. Voteling is counted on you.
Go ahead and look over there.
Pray for victory and be bold.
You got a low clear. Go ahead and put out your low clear. Wait for them. Go ahead and press your button. All clear. And out they go. Alright, one more repetition each, and then we're going to go to the other side of the platform.
On your left hand. Please empty your pockets at this time. Your items will need to go in the zipper pouch beneath your seat. To a returning battalion, welcome back.
Those gates are not magnetically locked, by the way.
On your lap bar, unfasten your belt, and exit to the left.
They're
Don't
locked
forget your
mechanically.
belongings in the zipper pouch. Oncoming
So you just push
students, prepare for battle. Step through the gates.
Alright, riders on the
and into the car in front
platform.
of you.
Gates are closing. Go ahead and close your gates.
In the zipper pouch.
Hands up, knees together. Everything out of your pockets. Awesome.
Do not
Everything out of
pull
your
down on
pockets.
lap bar.
Everything out of your
The lap bar
pockets.
must remain up in
Everything
the
out of
air
your pockets.
until our professors push it down
Everything out of your pockets.
During your
Everything out of
battle,
your pockets.
remain
Go ahead and
seated
high five your partner.
all times.
Look up at the
Put
screen.
your hands in your lap bar.
Pull up.
Keep hands
Pull
and
up.
feet inside
Pull
the
up. This guy
car
needs a
at
push.
all
Go ahead and
times.
push down a little more.
Voting
Good.
is counted.
Pull up. Pull up. One more click the
Pray for
screen.
victory and be bold.
Go back here. Scan. Put out your clear. Towards there. High clear. All clear. Alright.
Next battalion. If you have a red stamp,
Alright, one more cycle.
please empty
And then we're going to go to
your
the other
pockets
side of the
at this
platform.
time. Your items will need to go in a zipper pouch beneath your seat. To a returning battalion, welcome back. When the train stops, please lift up on your lap bar, unfasten your belt, and exit to the left. Don't forget
Alright,
your
go ahead and come
belongings
out
in the
here.
zipper pouch. Oncoming students, prepare for battle. Step through the gates and into the car.
Alright, gates are
Place
closing.
your items in the
Hands up, knees together, everything out of your pockets. Pull everything out of your pockets. Awesome, everything out of your pockets. Awesome, everything out of your pockets. 31, okay, pull it up, push it down, everything out of your pockets. High five, look at the screen. Pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up. Alright, go over here, wait for the low clear from that side. Alright, you got it. Press your button, put out your low clear. Just waiting for the other side. And you can put your clear down as soon as the train starts moving. You don't have to hold it up anymore. That's what we have ride stop hand symbols for.
If you have a red stamp on your left hand.
Alright, as soon as the train parks, we're going to cross over.
Your items will need to go in the zipper pouch beneath your seat. To a returning battalion, welcome back. When the train stops, please lift up on your lap bar, unfasten your belt, and exit to the left. Don't forget your belongings in the zipper pouch.
Put up your cross.
Oncoming students, prepare for
cross.
Step through the gates and into the car in front of you.
Alright, these are the unload positions. We'll watch them do a cycle real quick. So same thing, except you're push-pulling each of these gates. Yes, both exit, and you are push-pulling your gates. Back here you'll get these two. Up here you'll get this one. If you are in this position, you are in charge of alternate access. If they cut exit, I know they can slow things down a little bit, but you can manage. Other than that, it's pretty much exactly the same, except you don't get a mushroom to push. You got an A phone over here, and then you got another one back there.
If you have a red stamp on your left hand, please empty your pockets at this time. Your items will need to go in the zipper pouch beneath your seat.
Don't forget to step on the right pad.
Welcome back. When the train stops,
you're going to put up your low clear over here first, and then they're going to put up their low clear.
Don't forget.
Alright, go ahead and stand over here. Make sure no one crosses over to put items away unless it's a medical bag.
Prepare for battle. Step through the gates.
Alright, gates are closed. Alright, hands up, knees together, everything out of your pockets. Cool, everything out of your pockets. Awesome, everything out of your pockets. Cool, everything out of your pockets. Awesome, everything out of your pockets. Cool, everything out of your pockets. High five with the screen. And then pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up. Go ahead back here. Go ahead, push pull this gate. And then go ahead and look for the low clear. Alright, cool. Step on your pad, put out your low clear. All clear. And then you're just going to scan the platform before you put up
on this battalion. If you have a red stamp on your left hand, please
there you go.
Your pockets at this time.
Look how fast that train's going. Holy cow. This ride is very fast.
Your returning battalion. Welcome back.
After all, it is a hyper-hybrid, so it's awesome.
On your lap bar.
Fast pace. Alright, come on over here.
Don't forget your belongings in the zipper pouch. Oncoming students.
Everyone's coming in. Alright, riders on the platform, your gates are closing.
Place your items in the zipper pouch.
Alright, everything. Hands up, knees together, everything out of your pockets. Cool. Everything out of your pockets. Everything out of your pockets. Awesome. Everything out of your pockets. Everything out of your pockets. Everything out of your pockets. High five in the middle. Look at the screen.
Inside the car at all times.
Everything out of your Alright. Pull up. Pull up. This one needs a bit more of a push. Push. Nope. Okay. One more time. Push. Alright, good. You got it. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Push pull. Push pull. Back in the path. Throw out your low clear. All clear. And they're out of here.
To our next battalion, if you have a red stamp on your left hand,
if you want to go right to a harder push, I mean, if you're in a rhythm and that ends up happening, I totally understand.
To a returning battalion, welcome back. When the train stops, please lift up on your lap bar.
We're going to do 2 more cycles each side, and then We're gonna go into
controls.
controls.
Oncoming students, prepare.
Go ahead and let everyone come in.
Step through the gates and into the car in front of you. Place your items in the zipper.
Alright, gates are closed.
Take your
Hands up, knees together. Everything out of your pockets. Awesome. Everything out of your pockets. Everything out of your pockets. Everything out of your pockets. Cool. Everything out of your pockets. Everything out of your pockets. High five. Look at the screen. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Awesome. Go ahead and push pull this gate. Over here. Scan. Wait for their low clear. Alright, go ahead and put out your clear. All clear.
To our next battalion, if you have a red stamp on your left hand, please empty your pockets at this time. Your items will need to go in the zipper pouch beneath your seat. To a returning battalion, welcome back. When the train stops, please lift up on your lap bar, unfasten your belt, and exit to the
come
left.
on here.
Don't forget your belongings.
Oh yeah, that panel looks awesome, but we'll get to it, okay?
Prepare for battle.
Alright, everyone's coming in.
The gates and into the
Alright, gates are closed.
Place your items in the zipper pouch.
Alright, everything out of your pockets. Yep. Everything out of your pockets. Don't forget. Hands up, knees together. Everything out of your pockets. Cool. Everything out of your pockets. Everything out of your pockets. Everything out of your pockets. Okay, high five. Look at the screen. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Awesome. Go over here. Push pull the gate. Push pull the gate. Get on here. Put out your low clear. All clear. Awesome.
To our next battalion, if you have a red stamp.
Alright, 2 more cycles.
Please empty your pockets at this time. Your items will need to go in the zipper pouch beneath your seat. To a returning battalion, welcome back. When the train stops, please lift.
It's gonna get very tiring. Why we give you those ginormous water bottles?
Don't forget your belongings.
Over here.
Oncoming students.
Alright, lap bars up. Lap bars up, please. Lap bars up.
Into the car in front of you.
Alright, gates are closed.
Place your items in the zipper pouch.
Alright, hands up, knees together. Everything out of your pockets. Awesome. Everything out of your pockets. Pull. Everything out of your pockets. Awesome. Everything out of your pockets. Alright, everything out of your pockets. Everything out of your pockets. Cool. Go ahead and high five. Look at the screen. Alright, pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Push pull the gate. Get on here. And go ahead and throw out your low clear. And away they go.
To our next battalion, if you have a red stamp on your left hand, please empty your pockets at this time. Your items will need to go in the zipper pouch beneath your seat.
Alright, 1 more cycle.
Returning battalion, welcome back. When the train stops, please lift up on your lap bar, unfasten your belt, and exit to the left. Don't forget
Not here.
your belongings in the zipper pouch. Oncoming students, prepare for battle. Step through the gates and into the car in front of you. Place your items in the zipper pouch.
Alright, hands up, knees together. Everything out of your pockets.
Pull down on
Cool.
your lap.
Everything out of your pockets.
The lap bar must
Everything out of your
remain up in the
pockets.
air until
Awesome. Everything out of your pockets. Everything out of your pockets. Cool. Everything out of your pockets. High five in the middle. Look at the screen. Alright, everything out of your pockets.
Hands and feet inside the car at all
Alright,
times.
pull up. Pull up.
Totaling is
Pull up. Pull up.
Pray
Pull up.
for victory
Pull up.
and be bold.
Push pull. Push pull. Scan. Put out your low clear. All clear. Alright, when the next train parks, you're going to go into the booth because it's time to learn control.
Please empty your pockets at this time. Your items will need to go in the zipper pouch.
And you're going to see this amazing panel, too.
Battalion. Welcome back.
We actually did not go consign on this one.
And exit to the
I know, right? Crazy.
Don't forget your
Right, in here.
zipper pouch.
Before I start
Incoming students, prepare for battle.
with controls,
The gates and into the car in
there's a
front
couple things.
of you. Place your items in the zipper pouch. Take your seat and fasten your belt.
With metal detectors, rotations will go after the last line rope. You'll rotate to the ECQ metal detector, then standby metal detector, then the crowd. ECQ crowd, and then standby crowd. And then you're going to rotate up to this side of the platform. And basically you're just going to take the spot of the person who's been there on that side of a full hour. And then, same with this side. Controls, you're just going to spend 30 minutes at a time, because rotations are every 30 minutes until one controls position. So this is our panel. That's right, we use Irvine Andre Engineering this time. And they made us an absolutely beautiful panel. So here, stand over here, I'll explain it. That's your button to activate the mic. It's a blue mushroom. You're welcome. So control power. So it's control power. Key the ride on and off. This you can put the ride in transfer and manual mode. Maintenance usually fiddles with manual mode. Transfer mode is if you need to transfer trains on and off, and we do that. Maintenance does not do that. We do that. And then there's maintenance mode, where you can send the train in all different weird conditions. Again, only maintenance screws with that.
Is counting on victory and be bold.
We have the entrance gates to auto or manual. There's a variety of reasons why you may need to put the gates in manual. Such as if we have alternate access, loading through a wheelchair, we don't want them to get overwhelmed. We want to give them time to get on, get off. If we have a downtime for any reason. By the way, downtime, you make the downtime spiel, you call into park ops.
To a returning battalion. Welcome back.
And go from there.
Please lift up on your lap bar. Unfasten your belt. Exit to the left. Don't forget your belongings in the zipper pouch. Oncoming students, prepare for battle.
So setting needs to manual, like that. The only difference is they'll need to use that blue button to open gates. Don't forget to set them back to auto to avoid a pain in the butt. The acknowledge button, if the ride throws an error on here, you just hit the acknowledge button before you can do anything else about it, before maintenance gets up here. This is our e-stop button right here, same function, cuts power from the ride. Our e-stop reset. First you have to pull it back up, and then you have to press the blue button too, to make sure the ride can actually be powered on, via the ride start. It's the ride start. And the ride stop, and then the lift start. Now, with lift start, there is another button at the down at the base of the lift, inside the second lock.
Your items will need to go in the zipper pouch your seat. To a returning battalion.
There's an A phone down there too. By the way, 2 phones, park phone, A phone. They'll call you on the A phone. You say, "All right, ready, 1, 2, 3," and you both hold it down at the same time for approximately 8 seconds. You'll hear a lift start alarm, and then the lift will start. If this is on solid, that means the lift is running. If this is on solid, that means the ride's running.
Do not pull down on your lap bar.
And then the ride stop won't stop. The ride stop stops everything where it is. It does not cut power to the ride.
During your battle,
the lift stop simply stops the lift. Lock and lock restraints.
Inside the car at all times. Is counting on you.
Self-explanatory.
And be bold.
To a point. If a ride checking attendant, if a restraint checking attendant wants a row unlocked, they will put up 2 hand gestures. First is the number of the car, and then the number of the row within that car. So let's say they put a 6 with 2 hands and the 1, that means unlock 61. And what you will then do is you will click unlock 61, and then you're gonna press this button. Without having anything selected, pressing this will unlock the whole train. But having one of these selected will still unlock that. Cylinders and switch solenoid you don't really need to worry about unless you're maintenance. Be paying attention for people to do the gestures in case they want you to unlock the trains. This confirms that the exit gates are locked. There is a sensor as well. If someone opens the exit gate during the cycle, the ride will stop. In addition, if the exit gate is open, it will not allow the train to dispatch. This is the only ride with mechanical locking gates. That where it'll have you press a button to confirm they're closed. If you press it and then it lights up solid, that means they're closed. If you press it, if it's not blinking at all, that means it's open. That's pretty much how it is. And so that's what you do. And then here's your dispatch button. Yes, it's a pretty mushroom. You're wondering, hey, this is the main control panel. Where's the other mushroom? Here's the thing. IOE does things differently. They acknowledge that there's a lot of other things to be paying attention to while you're operating the ride. Therefore, they only included one mushroom. And it's awesome. It makes holding down the mushroom for the entirety of the ride's motion so much less tiring. And you get to look at this pretty thing all day. And it's awesome. So, for each dispatch, you do not need to press the lock and lock restraints. They will unlock automatically at the end after the train parks. So basically, when the train parks, you're going to wait for the gates to be closed. Once the gates are closed, you're going to say restraints are locked. Don't lock them before the gates close. You're going to watch the attendants check the restraints. That way, if they put up a hand gesture, you can unlock it. And let's say you do need to unlock it. Let's say they hold it before and a 1. You're going to click 41. You're going to press this button. And they're going to say into the mic, 41 unlocked. And then when you lock it again, 41 locked. When you lock the restraint, they're going to say restraints locked. Because they don't make a noise at all when you lock them. So you need to say restraints locked. If you don't, it's not the end of the world, but it just makes things easier if you do. So you're going to watch that, and then once everyone's in their positions, you're going to watch for this exit gate button to flash, and then you're going to press it, and then you're going to look for the high clear right here. Once you see the high clear right here, you're going to say into the mic, all clear, and then you're going to hold down the dispatch button for the duration of when trains are moving. Alright, you're not ready, go ahead and take the seat. Alright, welcome to controls. Alright, gates are open. Step through the gates and into the car in front of you. Alright, gates are closed. Go ahead and press lock and lock restraints. Go ahead and watch. The lap bar must remain up in the air until the pressures push it down for you. Up, 51 once unlocked. Remain seated at all times. 51 unlocked. Hands in your lap bar. Keep hands and feet inside the car at all times. Fodlin is counting on you. Alright, they're done checking. Go ahead and Press exit gate. Oh, they still got the low clear. Come on. Alright, there's the high clear. All clear. Go ahead and hold down the mushroom. Keep holding it down. And also watch the train going out.
Please empty your pockets at this time. Your items will need to go in the zippered pouch beneath your seat. To a returning battalion, welcome back. When the train stops, please lift up on your lap bar, unfasten your belt, and exit
the next train. The train's unlocked automatically. Everyone out. Next set of riders comes right in.
Oncoming students, prepare for battle. Step through the gates and into
Gates are closed.
Place your items in the zipper pouch.
Restraints locked.
And fasten your belt.
Alright, there they go. They're checking and checking and checking and checking and checking.
The lap bar must remain up in the air until our professors push it down for you. During your battle, remain seated at all times with both hands.
Oh, they're having some trouble with an LG.
Keep hands and feet inside the car.
Oh, they got him.
Cool.
Cool.
Pray for victory.
Back. Go ahead. Oh, it's flashing. Go ahead and press exit gate. All clear. And away they go.
Next battalion. If you have a red stamp on your left hand, please empty your pockets at this time. Your items will need to go in the zippered pouch beneath your seat. To a returning battalion, welcome back. When the train stops, please lift up on your lap bar, unfasten your belt, and exit to the left.
Right, everyone's going.
Don't forget your belongings in the zippered pouch.
Everyone's coming through the gate.
Oncoming students, prepare for battle. Step through
Gates
the
are closed.
Into the car in front of you.
Restraints locked.
Place your items in the zipper pouch. Take your seat.
They go checking.
Your belt.
Oh boy. Get your hand on 42. There's no way this guy's
up in the air until our professors push it down for you. During your battle, remain seated at all times. With
42 unlocked. 42 locked.
Keep hands and feet
sorry, buddy.
the car at all times.
RMC restraints are a fickle mistress sometimes. I've learned that the hard way. Right, exit gate. All clear.
Our next battalion. If you have a red stamp on your left hand, please empty your pockets at this time. Your items will need to go in.
Alright, couple more cycles.
To a returning battalion, welcome back. When the train stops, please lift up on your lap bar, unfasten your belt, and exit to the left. Don't forget your belongings in the zippered pouch. Oncoming students, prepare for battle. Step through the gates and into the car in front of you. Place your items in the zipper pouch, take your seat, and fasten your belt.
Restraints locked.
Hold down on your lap bar. The lap bar must remain up in the air until our professors push it down for you. During your battle,
the gates open a little long that time.
at all times with both hands in your lap bar.
Oh, look at that.
Keep hands and feet inside the car at all times. Fodelin is counting on you.
Alright, go ahead and press exit gate.
Victory and be bold.
All clear. And off they go.
To our next battalion, if you have a red stamp on your left hand, please empty your pockets at this time. Your items will need to go in the zipper pouch beneath your seat. To a returning battalion, welcome back. When the train stops, please lift up on your lap bar, unfasten your belt, and exit to the left. Don't forget your belongings in the zipper.
Alright, one more cycle.
Oncoming students, prepare for battle. Step through the gates and into the car in front of you. Place your items in the zipper pouch.
Restraints are locked.
And fasten your belt. Do not pull down on your lap bar. The lap bar must remain up in the air until our professors push it.
Unlock 32. 32 unlocked.
Remain seated at all times with both
32 locked.
Keep hands and feet inside the car at all times. Fodelin is counting on you.
Exit
Pray
gate.
for victory and be bold.
All clear?
To our next battalion, if you have a red stamp on your left hand, please empty your pockets at this time. Your items will need to go in the zipper pouch beneath your seat. To our returning battalion, welcome back. When the train stops, please lift up on your lap bar, unfasten your belt, and exit to the left. Don't forget your belongings in the zipper pouch. Oncoming students, prepare for battle. Step through the gates and into the car in front of you.
Let's go for some final thoughts. As we walk back to the front. So, opening day is right around the corner for this ride. Well, as I've said before, you're going to need to expect extremely large crowds. The line, the queue is easily going to fill up, and then some. So you need to be ready for that. We most likely will end up closing the line early, like a lot of different nights. Usually, if we have more than, say, a 5-hour line by like 5 o'clock, we usually make the decision whether to close the line early. We'll usually announce it ahead of time, too. For example, let's say the line's 7.5 hours. The park closes at midnight. We'll usually close the line around 6-ish to give people a little more of a chance, but at least not to be too late. Maybe in a few years when the crowds become a little more reasonable. I don't know how long that's going to take. From what I've heard, Steel Vengeance is still, like, ridiculous a lot of days. So it's going to take this one a while too. Especially since this park is much bigger, the capacity is much higher. And this one's got Fire Emblem. So... The Fire Emblem area of the park usually gets a lot of people. There's a CCI and a dueling gravity group. Dueling gravity group usually gets a lot of people. That's usually going to have an hour-and-a-half line. The CCI, not too much. Let's say, here's what I think is going to happen opening day. This is going to be 7 hours plus, possibly even 8.5. With Lakeside Loopers not even going to be setting full trains that day. But we're still going to get very large crowds for that dueling gravity group and the CCI. Here's the thing. This coaster being back here is going to change the whole dynamic of the park. There's going to be before everyone headed over to the Eggman Land to section of the park to ride Scrap Brain and Infinite. Now everyone's going to be coming back at first. Just like Steel Vengeance kind of flipped the dynamic of Cedar Point, where everyone goes to the front first, and then kind of trickles back to where Maverick and Vengeance are. No, Vengeance attracts a lot more people there, and the same will happen here. The North Gate, having only the couple of Fire Emblem coasters here, and Lakeside Looper used to be the redhead and stepchild of the gates. That's no longer going to be the case. It's now going to be the most desirable thing. This restaurant is reservations right now, because a lot of people are going to want to eat there. What else was I going to say? I don't know if I've stressed this enough yet, but loose article enforcement is extremely important. Because we don't want a lot of complaints from people I lost my thing. Go look for it. No one's gonna want to do that at 2 a.m. or at 7 in the morning. We usually look for things only when specifically we people tell us about it at the end of the night. Otherwise, we wait for the morning. We'll get a list of reports at the end of the night, so we can go through locks and look for them. Another reason: look at this, relation to everything else. Look at the first drop in relation to the midway. A lot of the parts of the midway are very close to the ride, especially the stall right here. There are nets up here for a reason. Hopefully the structure should block most of the loose articles that come off the train during the stall. That's not always the case, so we need to make sure we are enforcing those articles. And then there's also the issue of the fire. If someone loses something in that stall, and it goes off to the right or left, that item's getting charred. If that's a phone, that phone's done. If it's a wallet, that wallet's done. If it's car keys, those aren't unlocking your car. That gets caught in the fire. So again, make sure people zip the pouches. Because then we're going to get people yelling at us saying, I put myself in the pouch, it was supposed to fall out. Well, did you zip the pouch? Oh, I might not have. Well, there you go. So make sure people zip the pouches. And make sure that we are enforcing extremities as well, because we do not need another Superman incident. We do not need another new Texas Giant incident. This ride is more intense and more aggressive than any other RNC hybrid coaster out there. Even if it doesn't have as much airtime as Steel mentioned in terms of seconds, it's a lot stronger. Like Storm Chaser strong. So we need to make sure everyone's in. No giving people room. I mean, don't staple the hell out of them. Just don't make sure they are in securely, you know? That's another reason we have people take everything out of their pockets. Make sure the lap bar is down all the way. Seatbelts. I know they're easy to miss in the hustle and bustle of this ride.
To those of
you will get caught.
Welcome to Garrett,
and it is an operational and a pretty darn hefty one.
Journey as safe as possible. You must be prepared.
And these safety operationals are tracked differently, and they're a 3 strikes you're out.
Into which your items must be placed.
3 strikes and you're removed from rides. Nobody wants to be removed from rides.
Backpacks, purses, fanny packs,
okay. Next thing. Call in trash cans that need to be pulled. This is a new ride. We want to put our best foot forward. So make sure that the trash can gets pulled, okay? We want a ride looking pretty. We don't want it Park Services to have to pick the bushes every night. They clean our ride every night and during the day. The least we could do is help make their job easier. To make sure this place isn't, like, smelling of garbo stains. Next thing's next. Please don't hesitate to let your area supervisor know if you have an issue. And we're going to have a lot of issues, because that's just the nature of opening a ride. We're going to have a lot of angry guests who might not have understood something. Clarify something together. There are just some people where you can make it simple enough that a hamster can understand it, but, you know, they still won't understand what you're trying to tell them. At that point, you can't please everybody, you know? But the first and foremost, you need to keep yourself and the other guests safe, so when in doubt, call security, call park ops, call your supervisor. Call for North, because that's the side this is on. You know, make sure the situation is diffused as safely as possible. That being said, I know you're scared for opening day. You don't know what's going to happen, but I promise you everything will be fine. Your area supervisors are here for you. Your team lead and your soup are learning along with you. Just ask them if you have any questions. It's okay. That being said, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. We'll see you all in the next one.